Convicted murderer Oscar Pistorius is expected to appear before the parole board this morning. February this year marked 10 years since he shot and killed his girlfriend, Reeva Steenkamp, on Valentine's Day at his home in Pretoria.
Now, some say Pistorius could be out of jail in a matter of weeks. Others want him detained until his sentence ends, and that's in 2030. Newzroom Afrika's Erin has the details.
10 years ago, events at this estate would change the course of two lives forever. 29-year-old Reeva Steenkamp couldn't have known on Valentine's Eve her boyfriend would shoot her dead through a locked bathroom door. The Blade Runner Paralympian Oscar Pistorius has served several years behind bars and now seeks release on parole.
Friday is going to be a trying day for two households. Steenkamp's parents are opposed to parole, while those close to Pistorius harbour hope.
He has served just over 7 years, meaning that he has served the minimum required time, thus becoming eligible to be considered for parole placement.
In this attorney's experience, hearings are tough.
You'd find that the emotions are always high, in the sense that obviously we look into two parties here. People, they don't cope, they collapse during the hearing. Some, they even seek a medical attention due to the fact that the environment itself is quite heavy on them.
Proceedings of the parole board will be behind closed doors, but to understand what will be going on in the session, we've come to hear from leading attorney Ulrich Roux.
The function of the parole board now is to determine whether those 7.5 years have rehabilitated him, whether he genuinely shows remorse for his actions, and whether he can accordingly be reintegrated back into society.
And who are the kinds of people who will be contributing to that conversation?
Experienced and senior members within the Department of Correctional Services, as well as members from society, could be psychologists, psychiatrists.
Importantly, his victim's parents will be weighing in.
They've both deposed to what we refer to as a victim impact statement, where they set out clearly how the unlawful killing of Reeva Steenkamp has affected them, has affected their livelihood, has affected their lives, and that is a big consideration.
Roux says a successful parole application comes with controls. The Correctional Services Department will be overseeing the remainder of his sentence.
Certain conditions can be imposed should he be released on parole, such as being placed under house arrest, a limitation on the use of alcohol, securing employment, being confined to a certain jurisdictional area.
Non-profit organisation Women for Change is demanding Pistorius remain behind bars, insisting he's failed to admit guilt or show remorse. The group says it stands by June and Barry Steenkamp. Lawyer Motubatse Harry Tobejane says the board will consider the full record of one of the most publicised murder trials in South African history. He says time in prison often leaves its mark.
It changes a lot.
Both attorneys note that South Africa's parole system emphasises the rehabilitation of inmates, something the board considers at depth.
At the end of that session, the board will deliberate and pronounce its decision, which might not be on the same day of the sitting.
The parole board will hear Pistorius' application at Attridgeville Correctional Centre on Friday, and June Steenkamp will speak on behalf of Reeva's family. Bereaved father Barry will not attend due to health reasons. For Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405, I'm Erin in Pretoria, Tshwane.